Hey guys, this is a review for the Audiosense AQ3. So this is an IEM they just came out with, and I really had a hard time with this review because I really fell in love with this IEM. Like like um, I want to keep it. And I'm pretty sure I'm never going to sell this one. Well, I shouldn't say that because I'll probably find something else that'll be just fantastic, and then I'll be like, why do I have this when I don't really listen to it anymore? But right now, this is one of my top three IEMs. Um, and my experience is limited to like the highest end one I have is the Fearless Audio S8C, and I feel like this absolutely competes with that. Um, the Let's get into some things about this. So um, first off, I like AudioSense stuff. I had the AudioSense T800, and I really love that IEM, and I listened to it all the time. That the timbre was so good on it, right? That it made me want to listen to it like constantly because things sounded so realistic on it. Um, the the thing about the T800 was it had, or I should say this, it had a very thin bass. It didn't have much bass. The balanced armatures they used, which is all they had in it, um, they were good because you couldn't get that kind of timbre with something really low quality and tinny, but it sounded good. But it was missing bass. That was the main thing. And when I got the Audio Legacy, not the, I'm sorry, the Voyager, not the Legacy, the Voyager, I was like, wow, the detail is so incredible on these. Whereas the T800s, it was okay, but it wasn't as good as those. And the the Voyager had better bass. So I wasn't listening to the 800 and I boxed it up and sold it. Um, then the Legacy came along, and there was things about it that I didn't like. I mean, the bass was good, but I felt like things were a little muddy in some areas, and the detail wasn't quite as good as the Voyager. But overall, it was a really nice set. And then I saw these, and I thought, you know what? It's got a dynamic driver and two BAs in each IEM. So I thought, let me try it out because I like the last AudioSense pair a lot. But this is $179. So 108, they always go 179.99, right? So it's $180 for this set. So that's quite a bit more than either one of those Theo audios. It's quite a bit more than the Reecho and Peacock at 129. So I bought it and I thought, well, let's see what happens. And they come with a really nice case, right? I think I have the case right here. So they come with you can see this case back here, but it's a nice plastic case, pretty good. Um, and they come with a nice silver plated cable, which I don't have out right now. I actually have my balanced cable here. So let's go back out a little. So this is a solid silver balanced cable that I have. And I like this. I don't think that makes any difference. I just want to try solid silver and see what a lot of people said about it and if it was true. And it didn't make any difference sound wise to me, but it's very nice cable, very um, nice, soft and nice feeling. Doesn't kink easy. Stays hooked around my ear really well, and just nice cable. So these are what I've been using on it. It's a balanced cable. These are easy to drive. Um, I don't know what the impedance is off the top of my head, but definitely less than the Audio Legacy. These are way easier to drive than those. Still takes a little more juice than an all VA IEM, but still easy enough to drive. I think you could listen to these on a phone possibly. The the um the songs I listened to Candace Springs, um, Breakdown. That's a fantastic song. I listened to Diana Krall, How Insensitive, Live in Paris album. I listened to, oh my God, everything rock and roll. I listened to America, Horse with No Name, and every song on the album. I listened to heavy metal. I listened to Gamma, Black Sabbath, Metallica, AC/DC, Led Zeppelin, and I can go along points of every song and tell you the things. And I'm not really going to do that though. I mean, here's what I'll tell you about these. bass is not boomy, and it's not um, super powerful like the legacies were, where it's just like boom, really thumping, right? It's not like that, but it's a very good bass, very controlled bass, very tight, and the mids are excellent, very good, very good. The detail is excellent on these. There's a song which I use to reference a lot. It's off of the Truth About Charlie album. It's a soundtrack to the Truth About Charlie movie, and it's cara or something like that. And that song has this splashing in the rain. Basically it's rain on a tin roof, and then someone splashing in the rain after that. And at the beginning of that song, depending on the IEM you listen to, and of course the amp that you've got it paired with, right? But if everything's good and the IEM's the last thing in the chain, um, sometimes you can't make out that that's splashing. Really, you think it's water, but you don't know for sure. Um, but with these, it's 100%. You hear the rain, you hear the water. It's so clear, and that leads itself into the timbre, which that's what these have. That even IEMs I've spent a lot of money on just don't always have is timbre. The timbre on these is just fantastic. And I'm not sure if it's, and maybe someone can comment that might know this, because I don't know for sure what it is. I don't know if it's because they use I know they use Knowles armatures in here. I don't know if it's because they're using a really good armature and a really good balanced driver. I don't know if it's just the person tuning it has a golden ear and they just can tune it to that, that perfect level where everything seems completely 3D and real, or if it's a mixture of the two. I'm not sure about that, but there is something that they're doing with these that other manufacturers aren't. These have better timbre than any of the audio that I listen to, no doubt about it. Their timbre is as good, and in some cases better than the Fearless Audio. Um, the only thing I would say, so I also have the Reecho and Peacock, which I really love. Um, the vocals on the Reecho and Peacock are the best I've heard on any IEM. So they're better than these as far as that goes. The vocals on these are not as good as on the Reecho and Peacock, but they are very close. It just seems like the Reecho and Peacock with the dual the dual dynamic driver configuration um, lends itself to a much smoother reproduction of vocals and much more realistic reproduction of vocals. This one, the vocal reproduction was very good. Don't get me wrong, very good, but not as good as that. But percussion instruments, cymbals were incredible in this. Snare drums, horns, trumpets, clarinets, oboes, whatever. Uh, um, Piano keys. It just sounded fantastic on this set. In fact, it was so good that what I found is that I was listening to it all week. I mean, I literally was not listening to any other IEM I had. This is all I was listening to. Because when I put it in, I just would be like, I wouldn't stop listening. It wasn't like I'd listen to a song and go, can we try the other one? And let me listen to a song and then try another one. It wasn't like that. When I put this in, I ended up with just listening to the album, and I would just sometimes fall asleep with them on. I mean, I really, really like these, is I guess what I'm saying. So if we go to, price at 180 bucks, is it worth it compared to what else you can get for under 180? Well, I guess what I'd say is that I haven't heard everything under $200. You guys have seen my other videos and see what I've heard. And there are some things I listen to that I don't do videos about, but um, for right now, in the 100 to $200 range, I think these are the best IEMs I've listened to, right? I think they're better than the audios. I just do. Um, they have something about them when they reproduce the music. One of the things that kept happening was songs were, I would hear a sound in a song. I'm like, wait a minute, I haven't heard that before. And then I'd go put my other IEMs on and listen. I'm like, oh, the sound is there. But these produced it differently in a way that it made me feel like it was something new. So that was very interesting. And I don't know if that's because of the timbre, and the timbre is just better on these. And so things sound more realistic. But they had a way of making me want to keep listening and want to listen to all my music again, because I kept finding new things, which is kind of what you want, I think, with an IEM, right? You want to be a little bit excited and happy and and you know feeling kind of renewed when you're listening to your music. Um, so Well, I will say this though, these do not have a wide soundstage. The soundstage is narrow. It was within my head, let's say, a little bit, maybe say 2 or 3 inches outside my head. I could hear instruments that seemed a little bit further away, but typically the soundstage was very narrow on these. The Reecho and Peacock has the widest soundstage I've ever heard so far. That's me personally. The Fearless Audio has a wider soundstage than these. Um, these have depth though. They have like depth, like in back and in front. Uh, you can tell that it's like you can hear stuff in the back and stuff in the front, but not off to the sides too much. And some people might say, well, what are you talking about? This little thing stuck in your ear, how's it going to do that? But there's a way that acoustically these are reproducing sound, and it tricks your brain into thinking that there's an instrument that's 3 feet off to your left. And some IEMs do that really well. Um, and I don't know exactly if that's something that the people tuning these know how to do, and that's the way they tune it so that it does that, or if it's something to do with the type of armatures that are in it and drivers, or if it's a mixture of all that, what I'm actually guessing it is a mixture of all that. But what I'll say is that the imaging on these was very good, and in the sense that it stayed within a few inches of either side of your head. It wasn't a wide stage. But the timbre, the realism of songs and how realistic the instrument sounded was incredible. It's fantastic with these. I don't know how else to say it. I was really blown away. Audiosense really kicked butt with this. And I don't know who that person is that's doing their tuning, but that person knows what they're doing, because this is the second set I've owned where the timbre was excellent from these guys. The Audiosense T800 timbre was fantastic. It was very close to my JVC FX1100, which has some of the best timbre I've ever heard. This one's better than those. And so whoever's doing the tuning on these really knows what they're doing. So again, $180. It comes with a very nice carrying case. Comes with a really nice cable. It's not this cable. I don't have the cable. Maybe I have it. Let me see if I can have easy access to that cable. No, I don't. I've got it put away actually, but it looks a lot like this silver cable here. It just has a different end to it, and it's 3.5. And it's nothing wrong with that cable. I like it. I like balanced cable because I get more output through the DAPs that I use, because they all have dual DAC and dual op amp outputs on the 2.5. So I get easier to control the volume on it for me. So I think I've said enough. Like I said, $180 for these things, and I really feel like they're well worth it, and they're really well made, and it's a very nice design. Let me pull this cap off. I don't know if you guys have seen this. So they've got the aluminum tip on there, aluminum cap on there. Okay, well, you may notice a jump in the video. My battery went dead and I had to restart. So I'm hoping I'm picking up where I left off. I think where I was at is I was showing you how aluminum tip on there. It's one dynamic driver, 2 BA. Very nice finish, very, very high quality looking. You can really see the BA in there, both of them. Uses Knowles balanced armatures. I'm not sure on the dynamic driver. I think that might be, I doubt it's custom. I doubt they're making it themselves, but you never know. Comes with a good cable, comes with a great case. All things you could buy separately. So you shouldn't really, let's cover that real quick. You shouldn't really consider case and cable, I think, when you're buying, unless it's something like the Dunu, which has a really awesome cable, right? But that's a completely separate thing. Typical IEMs, the cable they come with is replaceable, and cables like this silver cable that I purchased, I think it was silver, so it costs a little bit more. I paid like $40 for it. And maybe they lied and it's not even silver. I don't know. It's hard to say, right? I don't have a way to test that. But this is a very nice cable. Sounds fantastic. Fits my ear really well. Very comfortable. So you can get a cable very cheap if you want. You can get a cable for $15, like the TRN cable I had that is excellent. So not an issue. Tips, doesn't matter what they come with. You can always get tips really cheap. Probably have some laying around if you've been doing this for a while. case, who cares? You can buy these cases. Even the nice case they have, which is this case right here. You can get this thing on AliExpress for like $10. I got this tin hi-fi case. Let me get that in there. I got this tin hi-fi case, which is what I keep it in right now, for I think like $9 or something off of AliExpress. And that's kind of funny, right? I got a tin hi-fi case, so probably they're not selling the T4s the way they were, and so now there's a bunch of these cases flooding on the market. Anyway, these are a great IEM. $180, in my opinion, 100% worth the $180. I have a set of IEMs, the Fearless Audios. They were like almost 600, 586. These are so close to being as good as those. So close. And I think I might do a video on the Fearless just to kind of talk about that IEM and what I like about it. Even though there's already a bunch of videos, I think I'll do one. This is a good buy. For $180, this is totally worth it. Better than the Thea Audio Legacy, if you ask, in my opinion. This I enjoy listening to more than I enjoyed listening to that. So that's my opinion, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks a lot for watching. I appreciate it.